Hey, how's it going? John here with work with John D, trucking with John D. In this video, I want to talk business. I want to talk about not just the trucking business, but business in general. And I'm going to talk about how lease purchase, being an owner operator, running your own trucking business, or leasing onto a company. How a lot of truckers will frown upon, let's say, partnering with a company, lease purchasing, and things of that nature when it comes to having, being an independent contractor with a company. And what I find is, I'm not talking about the veteran owner operators or the ones that's been doing it for 5 or more years. I'm talking about the new guys that's jumping into lease purchasing, leasing a truck onto a company. I want to talk about how they tend to see the money, they see the numbers that the company throws up. Owner operators make $180,000 or average $180,000 a year, or average $250,000, average $330,000. Then they see that number and they leap, they go for it, without really truly understanding that you're no longer an employee once you do that. And there's a big difference between being an employee, where everything is taken care of, and being an independent contractor, where you basically are responsible for at least 90% of your business, 90% of running that truck. And it takes a mindset shift to stick it out. It takes a mindset shift to do what it takes to keep your business profitable, keep your business growing, keep your business basically successful, and to the point where it's providing you a comfortable living and the bills are getting paid, your business expenses. Now, a lot of people frown upon, let's say, a guy that wants to lease purchase, and if the numbers work for you, then what's the problem? If the numbers work for the guy that wants to do a lease purchase, then I don't see what the problem is. As long as you understand that when you're lease purchasing, you're basically renting the truck with the option to buy, or you're renting to own, or you have walkaway leases where you're basically renting a truck to run a business. So the ownership isn't even in the picture. So as long as you understand that's what you're getting into, then what's the problem? Look at a lot of foreigners come over to the United States, and they don't come here looking for a job. They come here to start a business. Look at your average 7-Eleven, your corner store, your Subways, your Indian food restaurants, Chinese food, Mexican food, all these different, your corner store, I say corner store. Most of them are ran by foreigners, because they understand how important it is to run or to have your own business, even if that business is producing you a regular or average income. They understand the importance of ownership. They understand the pluses of that, because you can't hand a job down to your family. You can't pass a job down to your family. Your job isn't going to be your family's legacy, but you can hand down a business. Even if your son and daughter doesn't want to be in the trucking business, if something was to happen to you, they can still sell the business or sell your truck, and they can be taken care of, as long as you're upside down in the truck. But they can sell your business, sell the company's assets, and they can use that money to help, them in their life. But if you're working a job and that's all you have, if something was to happen to you, then they pretty much get nothing, unless you had a life insurance policy. So, and there's other tax benefits to having your own business. And I want to touch on the startup costs of, let's say, lease purchasing or having your own truck. And you can get, like a lease purchase, you can get into a truck for $0 down, zero credit check, you're pretty much your own business. Now compare that, and basically you're partnering with a major company. So compare that to starting a franchise, like a Subway, a 7-Eleven, a McDonald's, the Dunkin' Donuts, you name it. Those kind of businesses cost, you can't get, typically, I would say majority of the time, you cannot get into that kind of business, a franchise, for zero down and zero credit check. And to get in, you need thousands, I mean tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and in McDonald's case, millions of dollars in personal net worth and hundreds of thousands of dollars in liquid assets or liquid assets to even be considered for a McDonald's franchise. And do you think they own the building that their franchise is in? No, they are leasing the building. They are leasing the building. Just like if you was partnering with a company with a truck, you're leasing the truck through a company. So in essence, you're basically starting a franchise because you're starting or you're partnering with a major brand, whether that be Schneider, JB Hunt, Swift, I'm just throwing some random names out there. I'm not saying they're good or bad. I don't know. I never worked for Swift. I had worked for Schneider, JB Hunt. It's not about whether they're good or bad, but you're partnering with a major brand, and you get to leverage that major brand in your business to get into places like Procter & Gamble, SC Johnson, Unilever, these big corporations, these big Fortune 500, Fortune 50 companies. If you were an independent contractor, if you were like an independent owner operator where you wasn't partnering with a company, it might take you some time to get to work your way into pulling loads for those kind of companies. I'm not talking about through a broker. I'm talking about as your company it has a service or a contract with Procter & Gamble and a shipping contract with Procter & Gamble and companies like that. I'm not talking about working through a broker. But when you partner with these big trucking companies, they do have those contracts, and you get to leverage that. So, sure, and then maybe you get 65%, or if you have a mileage contract, you get whatever per mile. But you get in, so it's basically very much like a franchise. But you don't have the huge overhead because franchise, they take a percentage. They got franchise fees, they got ad fees. They take a percentage of your profit for advertising, they take a percentage of your profit for just basically for having the franchise. Just like a truck company will take a percentage of your profit for advertising fees. They got to keep their company, and other miscellaneous fees in the background. And a lot of companies, they cover a lot of costs. Whether that's your plates, your fuel taxes and stuff like that. They will, either help you or cover a lot of your operating costs. So that's another advantage of part of the company. Whether or not that's good or bad, it depends on your situation. That might work for some people, that might not work for others. But that's only something that you can decide. That's something you'll have to sit down and work out. If you haven't seen it already, I showed you an example of how to do that with a lease purchase calculator. Just check out my videos. I did a video where I show you how to figure out your costs and your net income after your expenses with this lease purchase calculator. So check out my video history, or matter of fact, I'll just put a link to it in the description box. Check it out, and you'll be able to download that calculator and put the numbers in, play around with the numbers to see what you need and what you need to do and how you need to set it up so that you can make the money you need to make to provide the life you want. So, yeah, that's all I want to say is that if your dream is to have your own truck or run your own trucking business or operate a truck like an owner-operator or as an independent contractor, then lease purchasing might be the way to go, or maybe buying a truck and then leasing on to a